Hello guys and welcome to Stretford Paddock. We are here to preview Manchester United's game on Sunday against Tottenham Hotspurs. I am Alex and I'm joined today by ex-Liverpool Academy player Ronaldo
please.
Brown.
Wait 1 sec. I'm slouching hell here. Posture's all over the place, but...
Alright mate.
It realised I was basically lied down. Anyway, relax with that intro.
Yeah.
Let's speak about United, please, and not about me.
Okay, no
Right,
worries.
go on.
No worries mate. So are you excited? Game on Sunday? What are you thinking?
I am excited to an extent because I want to get a run of good results going. Yeah. That's basically what all I'm focused on, because I feel like the mood around the club hasn't been great.
No.
And I think beating the likes of Tottenham and beating Mourinho is a good way of uplifting that.
Yeah, do you think that the Tottenham game in recent years, I think United-Tottenham's always been, it's been an entertaining game usually. Usually a lot of goals, has been ever since I've been growing up. Yeah. It's always been, remember the 5-3s and stuff like that where, United came back from 3-0 down to win 5-3 and stuff like that. But do you think the last couple of years we had the Pochettino kind of being the almost auditioning for the job, and then obviously Jose coming? Do you think these games have taken a little bit more importance now over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, they have, because maybe some might say in terms of league positioning and kind of challenging, the gap between us and Tottenham isn't as wide. Because I'm going to say it respectfully. Whenever you say that, it usually follows something disrespectful. But I've never respected Tottenham that much in terms of whenever you've gone into a Tottenham game, kind of fearing them off or feeling like it was that big of a game.
No.
Honestly, I don't know if you have, but...
No, not you.
Obviously, now it's a little bit different, but still, when I look at a Tottenham game, I do see it as more of a disappointed if we don't win. Yeah,
I think it's always been the case. I think it's always, like I said, it's always been high scoring, entertaining. There's been some great goals over the years. Obviously, like end of the 99 season, United win the league against them, stuff like that. But it's never really been...
How old was you then?
How old was I then? I was 7 years old. 7 years old.
I probably wasn't even one yet. So I can't...
You can't comment on that now.
Basically, I'm being a bit ageist, but...
Okay. Well, you've not got it. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. First video in a while, Ronaldo, and he's just taking a piss. But, anyway. Moving on. So, bit of team news ahead of the game. Ollie talking this morning. No new injuries, which is a good thing. Not looking like...
When's the last time we've heard that? No new injuries?
Been a while.
Even Bailly's fit?
Bailly's fit. He has mentioned that Harry Maguire got left out against Brighton in the week because of a knock. I just thought he got rested, which is probably what he was probably due a rest, considering I don't think he's had a rest since he signed for Man United.
I honestly think he's played every game, possibly.
I think the Astana one was the only game he didn't play.
It's almost as if when you bought for £80 million, you're not allowed to not play.
If you're not quite that quality player, you have to play every single game. You have to be like...
That was definitely mentioned when he signed.
Yeah,
I've got to play every game.
You're playing 65 games a year, Harry. So Harry Maguire was out for a knock, but he should be back. The only real injuries they've mentioned here is Twanzebe and Phil Jones, who've been unavailable for forever. Phil Jones is still there. Yeah, Phil Jones is still there. And then
forgot about him.
The few mentions here, whether there's a couple of players will come in who played in the week. We'll get onto our teams later. But then going on to Tottenham, they've had a busy week. They've played 3 games this week, and they've got their 4th game in 8 days on Sunday against Manchester United.
4th game in 8 days.
That
is insane.
Insane, yeah. So they had Lo Celso came off last night or Thursday night against when they played Maccabi. Where was it?
Basically, before you move on, we already know what Jose Mourinho's excuse will be when they lose.
Oh yeah.
He's got that ready-made for the post.
Absolutely.
For the post-presser.
Yeah, so Lo Celso out, Dele Alli came on, but he's not played too much. And also, last week, he seemed to rule out Son. So he's had a hamstring injury, he'll be out for a while, but then kind of dropped something in just after the game last night that he might be fit, which, good play for them, Son. I think it'd be big for them if they could get Son back into the team to play United.
Out of all the Tottenham players, Son's the player that scares me the most. Mostly, I think he's a bigger threat in some ways than Harry Kane. Because whenever I watch Tottenham and Tottenham don't really have much possession or they're up against it, Harry Kane's the type of player that can go missing. Whereas I think Son's more of a persistent threat in my eyes.
Yeah, and I think especially we know we watched Jose Mourinho football for a few seasons, and he's gonna, in games like this where you're playing maybe a team of similar standard, he's gonna sit back. And players like Son, Lucas Moura with a bit of pace, they're the ones that cause you the problems in these kind of games. It's not usually Harry Kane. I mean, there was the game at White Hart Lane last year, where I think Harry Kane had like 3 touches or something in the opposition box or something crazy like that. The first game after lockdown.
That's what I'm referring to, because I've seen games where Tottenham haven't been in it too much, and then they always bring up a like Harry Kane touch map, and he's had like 4 touches all half, 5 touches all half, and I'm like, that is the exact reason why I've always been kind of, you can't not respect him as a goal scorer and a finisher that he is.
Yeah.
And obviously he's good when he's on it, but he's one of those, because he's not the most mobile, he's not the most athletic, he's not going to run away from you.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they haven't got much of the ball and they kind of need the outlet, if the service isn't perfect, that's when he does go missing. That's what I've always said about Harry Kane. That's why I'm going to keep saying it until everyone else agrees with me, hopefully.
And then a couple more people to mention. Obviously, there are 2 new signings. So far, they've had a few new signings, but the 2 new signings that were linked to Manchester United. Reguilon played his first game against Chelsea this week. Was at fault for their Chelsea's goal, but then had a very good game for Tottenham in the week. And then the other one mentioned here is Gareth Bale, who doesn't quite look fit enough. Do you think that, obviously all the stuff's going around Jadon Sancho, do you think that we should have gone in for Gareth Bale? And do you think we should have had him as an option if we don't get Sancho?
No.
We're
talking about a man that's, as everyone stated, has been more interested in other things other than football in the past few years.
To be fair, golf's pretty good.
Nice. That's a different story for another day, but I'm definitely not a golf guy. But you're looking at, he's not been incredibly motivated. You don't really know what Gareth Bale you're going to get right about now.
Yeah.
And don't think Tottenham know either. I think they've just taken a bit of a gamble. And with football being such a mindset game, if his mind is not all the way in it, it could take a while for him to actually be even 3/4 or maybe even half the player that he used to be. Yep. So I'm not asked in the slightest about United missing out on Gareth.
And Bale. Also with him out injured as well, just kind of proves that point that, you know, if I think United had come in, United would have been paying more of the wages than what Tottenham are doing now. And straight away, fly at me here, move on from that. But anyway, Gareth Bale would have paid more than wages, and again, he'd have been here for a month, not even kicked a ball. We probably paid him £1 million already, which just seems mad.
And we know where all that money would have gone for him.
Yeah, he'd have been
playing that Tory sport.
Moving swiftly on. So, starting 11s. We're going to go to yours first, but we might not need to go to much more than that. Let's go to run us through your starting 11 for Manchester United against Tottenham. It's on that little screen over there, mate.
Yeah, I can totally see that. 2020 vision. From what I can make out, it is David De Gea in goal. Left back, Luke Shaw. Centre halves, Harry Maguire and Bailly. Right back, Wan-Bissaka.
Yep.
And midfield, holding of Matic with Bruno and Pogba ahead. Yep. Right wing, Greenwood. Left wing, Rashford. And up front, Anthony Martial. And that is my team.
Now, before we talk about that, can you go on to my team? Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
For me, I don't think there's much of a debate about this.
So basically what you're saying is you copied me?
No, because I didn't even see you before we decided on these teams. And then it's just, that's been the case. Do you think it is?
That might show the fact that United haven't got...
There's not a lot of options.
A lot of options, so it's not even... Like, a lot of the positions aren't incredibly debatable.
No, I mean, let's talk about if there is any kind of debate. The change that's kind of been made from the Brighton game last week is Eric Bailly coming in at centre half alongside Harry Maguire. Do you think that there's a chance that doesn't happen? Do you think that Lindelof keeps his place, or what's your thoughts?
I don't see how he can
partnership?
With Bailly putting in the performances that he has been putting in, and how frail our defence has looked so far.
Yeah,
I don't see a way that Solskjaer excuses keeping Lindelof in the team.
No, I think
so. I don't know if he doesn't start Bailly, I'm going to be not just surprised but relatively upset as well.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think that, especially, I mean, we mentioned that the style of play that Josie's going to play is going to play the counter attack. If we don't have Eric Bailly back there, it's a slow defence that covering balls over the top, and I think Eric Bailly adds the attributes that Harry Maguire doesn't have. He doesn't have the athleticism. He can't do the covering that Eric Bailly does. So I'm hoping to see Eric Bailly. One thing we've glossed over there is David De Gea in goal. Do you think that, Dean Henderson's come in, played 2 games, cup games against a rotated Brighton and a Championship Luton, but made 2 world-class saves. Do you think there's a point that he plays in the Premier League, or do you think that's just not going to happen this season?
I think he's basically on De Gea's shoulder. But even though Henderson's been decent with the minutes that he's got so far for United, as I've said last year, when you've got De Gea and the kind of money he's on and his pedigree and so on, it's going to be difficult to justify leaving him out.
Yep.
And with keepers being a position that you don't rotate too much, if Henderson comes in and then does well, and then you can't get him out of the team, and that's De Gea. That's it for De Gea, really. And then you've got a second string goalkeeper on ridiculous amounts of money.
No, it doesn't.
It can't work like that.
It doesn't work. No, I think De Gea keeps his spot. Midfield, we're making 3 changes from the week. Do you think that, obviously playing Brighton midweek, we had Fred, McTominay and Van der Beek in there. Do you think there's any chance that any of them keep the spot at all? Or
I think Donny Van der Beek's the only one with a shout, really. Yeah. I know Matt had a good performance as well, but I don't think this is a game for him either. No. It could be, because Matt is creative, and if Mourinho goes for his patented... Is that the word? Patented. Yeah. Pronunciation was all over the place, but you know what I'm saying. His part of the bus vibe, and you might need that bit of creativity. But maybe it's one of them where if we don't break him down, he could come on.
Yeah.
But as for the midfield, I think Van der Beek's only one with a shout, really, of coming in.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough for Van der Beek this season. I think he's had the times he's come on, he's looked really good. He got his goal against Palace, and then has had 2 good performances when he started. But at the same time, I think Bruno and Pogba are ahead of him. Are always going to be ahead of him. I think that unless there's a reason to rest them in terms of games coming up, which, going into the international break there isn't for Man United, I don't think see that change. And then the front 3, this should be saying our brand new signing Jadon Sancho, or at least someone pushing this 3. But there's not, is there? I think that's the 3 that has to play. There's no other option, is there, up front?
Literally none.
No.
Obviously, we've seen the monumental gap in a week. Daniel James,
he's not got it, has he?
Jury's out. And what are the backups really to them 3?
You've got Lingard, Igalo.
Igalo looks shot. James just doesn't look good enough.
Do you think there's an argument for Jesse Lingard? He came on in the week, looked all right, and also this time, the Tottenham game last year was very good in the run against Tottenham and City. Against big games, all these kind of like Jesse Lingard in there. Do you think there's any chance that maybe ahead of Greenwood?
He used to be put in big games because of his legs.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing you can't fault about Lingard is his work rate.
No.
He's always got that. But it's not about that at the moment. It's quality that we need. And goals and assists are 2 things that he's not been able to provide the past couple of years.
I absolutely agree. So make sure you get in the comments. Let us know what your starting 11 would be. If you see any changes, obviously me and Ronaldo don't see any changes to that. But
no, I don't see
let us know what you would do to that team. Would you try a different formation? Hang on. There's some news coming in. Spurs played Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. I've said that. They're going to be the 4th game in 8 days. I have mentioned that.
Where's the faith?
Where's the faith? Anyway,
Cameron.
So, moving on quickly to score predictions. What do you feel is going to be the score this week?
2-1 United.
2-1 United.
2-1 United, and I'm going to go goal scorers as well. Greenwood and Bruno.
Greenwood and Bruno. Penalty or just open play?
Probably a penalty.
Who's winning the penalty?
Probably Bruno. Dive. Bruno and Greenwood. However they get it, I don't really care as long as we get the win.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm gonna go. I went 2-1 the other night when I did this prediction. I'm gonna go 3-1. I'll go 3-1 United.
3-1. Scorers then?
Scorers. I'm gonna go Martial to get his first goal in the Premier League. Greenwood, and then Van der Beek to come on and get a goal. But I think it's going to be... I think we're going to go 1-1. I think that'll be it. We'll score first. They'll go back to 1-1.
You think we'll score for them? Or is that too precise?
That is too precise. I'm going to go Harry Kane. If I get that right, be mad. Anyway, let us know in the comments what
is that a poll that Cam's trying to pull out there?
We've got a poll.
Is that a poll, Cam?
Is that a poll?
Can you move so can we see the poll, please?
Yes.
We can't see the poll at the moment, Cam.
Yeah.
You need to move.
Our producer is trying to get us to do something. We've had a poll running on Twitter. This is on Friday saying, how are you feeling ahead of Spurs? The first win, people are going 48%, draw 20.5%, and loss 31.5%. A lot of people going for a loss there.
That's less than half.
That's with
4,000 votes. That's a big sample size, and less than half going for United win.
Do you think
that don't come across too confident?
No. Do you think that this is a must-win for Man United, considering the start of the season?
I just see every game as the way I view football is just got to win every game.
Yeah. But do you think there's added importance to how we start the season?
It is, because we didn't give ourselves much leeway with how we performed against Palace and scraping a win against Brighton.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's a must win. We need confidence. Brilliant. I think if we lose on Sunday and then we don't sign anyone on deadline day, you just...
It's not a good international break then, is it?
It's not a great international break, and
it's
just got... You'll have the world's moodiest fan base.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want. So I see it pretty much, if I put it that way, definite must win.
There we go. Heard it here first from Ronaldo. Must win for Manchester United. So make sure you are liking this video. Make sure you're subscribing to Stretford Paddock. We will have team news, we'll have a watch along, and we will have a review after the game, as well as fan cams, as usual on Stretford Paddock. So make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. I've been Alex. That's been Ronaldo. See you next time.